Hello, my absolutely beautiful, bodacious babe. Are you ready to stretch? So, as we've already discussed, you need your mat for stretching and you need a hula hoop. Both of them close by, please. And wearing your core stabilizing tights, because once we stretch, we're going to move. So stretching first, standing, legs hip width apart, finding just the center of your feet. Most of us sit back in our heels, or some of us are up on our toes. Let's find the center of our feet. Splay your toes, earth through the ground, slight bend in the knees to activate the leg muscles. Standing up nice and tall, finding good posture. We will be doing it this whole 6 weeks. Imagining there's a string drawing the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Your chin is drawn in, your shoulders are rolled back and down, and that will just start to possibly stir up your core a little bit. You may feel as though you want to draw your core in. How beautiful. If that isn't the case, let's do it manually. So from there, imagine you have a string attached to your belly button and you're going to draw that string back towards your spine and up, lift up. In and up. I immediately lock my knees back when I do that, and that's not a good thing. We just want to still activate our legs, still push through the ground in our feet, finding that lovely balance between our feet again, and drawing in and up. Crown of the head lifted. Beautiful. So stretching. We're going to roll down and stretch our spine. We're going to lie down, we'll kneel and stretch our hip flexors. We're going to lie down and stretch our glutes. And then we're going to take the hula hoop to stretch our hamstrings. So first and foremost is a roll down. If you're in a lot of pain today, you may only do one. If you're feeling, comfortable, you might do 3. I'm going to do 3 with you now. Okay, so from here we drop our head and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae as far as you can possibly go. That's comfortable, of course. You may be in pain, but know the difference between chronic pain and extreme discomfort. I immediately rock back into my heels. So let's find that medium place in between our feet, that center pulling up through the arches. Now I can get all the way down to the ground because I'm flexible and I do this every day, but for you, you may just get halfway or whatever. Once you're down the bottom, crossing over your arms and just hang out. Deep breaths, lifting through the backs of the legs. Now from here, draw your core in and roll up using your leg muscles, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then rolling the shoulders back and down. Finding our correct posture again, finding the center of our feet again. Deep breath in, and as we breathe out, we roll down. Finding that breath. Lifting up through the hips all the way up to the ceiling. Imagine there's 2 strings attached to your hips and they're pulling them up to the ceiling. You're lengthening through the backs of the legs. Legs are activated, core is activated, and rolling back up. And you might be saying to yourself, what core? There is no core there. It's not activating. Yes, indeed it is. Let's roll down once more. It is working. Every time you engage it, it is working, and it may take a week or 2 before you start feeling it. Let your head hang. Let your arms hang. Find that center of your feet.
deeper stretch, isn't it, when you find the center of your feet? Deep breaths and rolling up as we engage our core. Rolling our shoulders back and down. Well done. Now from there, we're going to stretch our hip flexors. So one foot in front of the other. And from here, we're going to kneel down. I have to go a bit slowly. I'm in a bit of pain today. Nice cushioned Pilates mat. If you don't have a Pilates mat and you have a yoga mat, you might need to put a towel underneath your knee. From here, taking your hands so you're stable, one to the hip, one to the knee, and then leaning forwards, core drawn up, bottom tucked under, leaning forwards, leaning heart, your heart is leaning forwards, feeling as though you've got that beautiful posture even while you're in a kneeling position. So lovely push through there. Feeling the stretch through all of these hip flexor muscles down in here. If you're not feeling a stretch, you need to go a bit deeper. Holding that for a minute or two. And then once we get to sort of halfway point, we're going to reach our arm up to the ceiling if our shoulder allows it. If not, we're going to keep our hands where we can, but if we can, we'll reach up to the ceiling, opposite hand to knee, and lunging into it. And changing over. Now, to take the pressure off your back and your knees, you may want to come down onto all fours to change over. Otherwise, just change one side to the other. Deep breaths in. Tucking the bottom under and leaning into it. It's going to be like a 20-minute long video, so you can come through. I'll just cut that bit out. And leaning into it. Adrian just walked in and out of the room, so I had to cut that bit. Okay, so from here we're going to take one hand down opposite our leg, the other hand inside, and just sort of wiggle your foot back until you're in. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, but then we're going to take our knees wide, feet together, and Pumpkin is going to disrupt this, because we're going to bend back into child's pose, bringing the head or the forehead to the mat and leaning back into your haunches. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. No need to hold your core here. Just relax your belly. Nice lower back stretch. And then from here, using your weight onto your arms, come back up onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Arching your back, looking at the ceiling. No, this is flexing. I always forget them. Anyway, we're going to breathe in and we're going to look at the ceiling, stick the bottom out and relax the belly down. And then from there, we're going to arch the back. This is the arching, that's right. Tucking the bottom under, tucking the head under. Breathing in, looking up, bottom out, belly low. Breathing out, tucking under. Let's get as much flex as we can in our spine every day. We're only as old as our spine. Beautiful. Go with your breath. Follow your breath. You may be sore today. I'm sorry if you are. Chronic pain is the pits. But we're going to get you through it. Stronger and healthier every day. Feet together, knees wide apart, pushing back into child's pose. And relax. and breathe. Coming back up again. And then from here, we're going to roll over onto our side and collect our hula hoop. And then roll over onto our back. Rolling down vertebrae at a time, using your arms to help you down. My tummy is sticking out over my tights, and I am cramping all through my back because I have just had quite a bit of time off movement. So getting better. If you're cramping, just do a bit of rolling through. Maybe bring your knees up towards your back, towards your tummy, sorry, and just let your spine settle. Once you've settled down onto the ground, then from here, we're going to cross one leg over the other and lift up our legs and stretch through our glutes. So ankle is to knee, hands either side, and squeezing in. And then release, stretching out and coming up for the other side. Please hold your stretches for a minute. There's no point if it's less than a minute. I mean, you can hang out here for 5 minutes if you really want, but 1 minute, 2 minutes is adequate. If you've got knee troubles, flex that foot, protect the knee. Excuse my yawning, it's early in the morning. And stretch out that leg straight to release through the hip flexors. Now from here, let's pick up our hula hoop. Arms are wide on the hoop. And then popping the foot inside the hoop. Now, if your lower back is giving you grief today, just keep your leg bent up. But if you're feeling comfortable, then stretch it out. But if that aggravates your sciatica or any of your pain, then pop it back up again for support. Pushing your heel up towards the ceiling. You may be here, depending on your flexibility, lengthening through the back of the leg and pushing up. And then from here, let's take our leg across our body. So we're now stretching through the hamstrings, the iliotibial band, and probably a few other muscles that I'm just not aware of. Wonderful stretch. Takes quite a bit of practice to get good at. Back up to center. By the end of the 6 weeks, you'll be a whiz at it. Now, if you have the strength, you can put both your legs up as you change over, but otherwise you may have to bend one leg and change over that way. So have your legs bent and supported as you change your legs. And then from there, pushing through the heel. The heel is up and out, the foot is flexed, and we're lengthening through the back of the leg. The supporting leg is either lying flat, or it's bent up supporting. And then from there, we take the leg across the body, moving our hands on the hoop so that we can adjust ourselves, still flexing the foot, pushing our foot out and flexing it up. And then back up to center. Popping our hoop down, rolling over onto our side and rolling over onto, well, pushing ourselves up and coming into a seated position.
that's your first stretch series for week 1. I would like you to do this every day. You may not be up to moving every day, but stretching every day is something I really, really want for you. Do it twice a day if you like. Do it 3 times a day if you like. Don't push yourself. Just take it 1 hour at a time. So we've just done stretch. So next is move.